Diane.
Hi, everybody. And how was your week, darling?
My week is great. While you're going to keep them entertained, I'm going to set up the chat.
Okay, so, I'm liking starting out the week with just taking a peekity-poo at what's happening in the United States, and they have some exciting things happening. First off, we're going to see about Matt Gaetz. Is that his name? The representative that's kind of ew. Okay, and I think his name's Matt Gaetz, and he has been found with his hand in the underage cookie jar. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen with him. Matt Gaetz. And the ironic thing is he's on one of the committees that looks into stuff like this. Okay, so when I look at the baseline here, you have Temperance reversed and the Nine of Cups up, right side up. And so I don't see him actually saying that he's guilty or anything like that. I see him blaming it on maybe drugs or alcohol. And in what covers him is this idea that in the long run he's going to get what he wants. And what he wants is to stay in the house. Okay, so Okay, so these rather nasty cards. In a way, what looks like what's going to happen is, first off, there's a lot of confusion here. You've got a girl in the middle, the female in the middle of it, I don't think is a reliable witness. And so she might have some addiction problems of her own. Keep in mind, this is for entertainment purposes only. But it doesn't look like, it feels like there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of wishes not coming true. So things aren't going to come down really on the side of justice with this guy. I don't think at all. It just seems like the accusations against him are too weak for him to really make them stand, because there's just this weakness and this failure up front. But that's just in the short term. Look at that. Okay, so in the short term, it looks like he's kind of getting off the hook, and so I think this has to do with his job in the Senate and that, because when we take the long view, it's a totally different thing. When we take the long view, instead of having somebody who's confused stating a case, you have somebody who's really sharp and well-spoken stating a case. So I have a feeling that this is, the House investigation versus the FBI investigation, and the FBI has better witnesses. So they've got some tricks up their sleeve. And apparently it gets weirder, because it looks like he's made some pretty serious promises to some of these girls. Yeah, eventually justice does win out, and eventually he does lose his job. So that is the tale of Matt Gaetz, as bizarre as it is. Okay.
That is the tale of Matt Gaetz, is it?
Oh, yes.
What a boring tale it is.
I know.
Okay, so put the cards down.
Yep.
We have some unboxing to do. The Queen got some mail this past week.
Got mail.
And so we've got 3 parcels to open up. I've already cut them open just for speed's sake.
Okay, so this is the first one. And it is addressed to the Queen of Ooga Booga. And this comes from Ontario, Kitchener, Ontario. Okay, so this is from our friends from Haunting Live Podcast. Let's see what they sent me. Okay. They sent me, oh, look at that. That is so nice. This is, they know this is one of my favorite stones. I love kyanite. It's just so good at what it does. And give me just a second. I'll open it up. It's not opening up. Okay. There we are. Going to carry some jewelry, and this is one of their pieces, and it is a kyanite pendant. I'm going to hold it up to the camera here so everybody can see it. Can you see it all right? Mm-hmm. It's absolutely a lovely blue. It's a beautiful piece of raw kyanite, and this is very good for protection against negativity. It's something that's very good to wear in stressful situations. Like if your name is Matt Gates and you're being investigated by the FBI. Okay, so the next one. Oh, look at the size of this one. And this one comes to us from this is the Queen of Ooga Booga. And, well, I'm not sure where this comes from. And I don't have my glasses on.
I'm pretty sure that's from Georgia.
Oh my goodness, from the Georgia Coalition. Oh, your Royal Majesties, always sending you the best gifts, and you know it's for a queen because there's a crown right there. Okay, so just gotta open it up. Got a little bit of tape there to get rid of. There we go. And oh, I think I know what this. Aha! Oh, I was needing one of these. Oh my goodness, look at this. Folks, your queen officially has a scepter. And I shall use it. I shall use it to put down my edicts and all that other good stuff. Thank you so much, both of you. Jewelry, scepter. Oh, how could things get any better? Little blue box. They say good things come in little packages. And this is Alang. Look at that. Little blue and silver box. So pretty. Thank you so much. And what's inside? Oh my goodness. I love presses. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? I have a black sweater that would look beautiful with. So you will see this next week. I'll wear black and I'll wear this. Thank you so much. I feel so well dressed now.
The queen has found her scepter.
Yes, she has.
Okay, well, let's get on with it. Hi, Joshika. Hi, Grace, Sonia, Marcy, thank you for being here. Ava is here. La Haunting Live is here. Virgo Queen, Tanya. Oh, my goodness. Lisa Love is back.
Hi,
all
everybody.
Right, so who we got here? Joshika had his first question, I believe. Who will I marry? Describe him, please.
Describe who you'll marry. Oh, my goodness. Okay. What can we tell Jessica about her future hubby? Okay, so you have the Three of Wands reversed. And one of the things with the Three of Wands is this wanderlust, this looking out onto the horizon, seeing what's next. And I think that what the cards are trying to tell me is that you've got some wanderlust, some traveling, some seeing the world to do before you actually are ready to get married. So they're talking about that being along your path. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that I see that's working, that might be a little negative, that might be a little bit of a blockade, is this idea of having to have financial security. So the cards are talking to you like a nana. You know, you got to travel the world, you got to see some things, and you've got to have your own successes in that. But I do see this happening. But I want to look at the very, very positive. I think we'll get more of an answer there. Oh yeah. It says that you do have some restlessness there. I see you doing some traveling. I see you building a career. But when it's all said and done, you come right back to somebody that you know right now. Because the person that you will marry, he feels a little taller and skinnier than you like him, but he's very sweet, and you may have known him when he was really young, because it's kind of like it's showing me sort of the ugly duckling sort of thing, that this is somebody that's really gangly and clumsy as a kid or as an adolescent, that as an adult becomes more graceful. He's fiery, he's passionate. I don't think he's a writer, but he is really an avid book fan. They're just showing me books upon books upon books. So he might really be into sci-fi or maybe the graphic novels or something like that. But he's one of those fans that do the fan fiction sort of stuff. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a hobby.
Nothing wrong at all. And it uses creativity and brain cells.
Right. What else does?
What uses brain cells?
Yeah.
Advanced calculus. Who's next?
Oh, yeah. I've really needed that in my life. Sonia wants to know about her finances and if there's any messages for her.
Okay. Sonia. Okay. You're looking lovely today. Give the little guy next to you a hug. Well, no, he's in bed by now, isn't he? Kids go to bed earlier, don't they? Okay, so Sonia. Ooh, okay. It starts out with the devil, so that's not a good thing. It tells me that you've got some issues in the short term. You've got to make some pretty hard decisions, because it feels like you're hanging on to something that you need to let go of in order to move forward. So you're sort of stuck by, I think it's the stuck of your own device. So whatever you need to get taken care of, whatever band-aids you need to rip off, you need to do that before you can move forward financially. Boy, you've got some really heavy-duty stuff coming up in your life. Whether or not you rock the boat, your life is going to rock and roll right now. So you might as well get the boat rocking in your direction, okay? It says that you might be missing out on some opportunities that are around you, and that gets right back to whatever you're stuck in. It's not about your finances. I think there might be some home issues that you're not dealing with. And when one part of your life stagnates, it tends to spill over into other parts. And this is something that you would really like to break free, because within 3 months you can start applying for better postings. It looks like, it's giving me a 3, and it feels like 3 months. It says like within 3 months you kind of have your choice of opportunities. And the universe, once again, is reminding you this is the time when you need to get yourself unstuck on whatever you're stuck on.
Okay.
That was more of a message.
Oh, well, that's what you wanted.
Yeah. Somebody's scolding you.
Tanya wants a love reading. She can't wait for February 14th to come around again.
She doesn't have to. She seriously doesn't have to. It's funny because, I think spring's in the air and it just feels like, sometimes you just have that aura and you've got attraction around you. You've got attraction like you put attraction perfume all over yourself. So let's see what that draws to you. Well, dead center, you've got the Knight of Cups, and he's reversed, but that tells me that he's just whoever's around love, he seems to be kind of in a down cycle, and I think this might be because he's laid off or between jobs or something like that, because he's feeling a little bit unmoored, but as far as being loving and helpful and wanting to pull his own weight, this guy's got that going for him too. So whoever's around you right now, he may look like a little bit of a project, but he's okay. He's okay. Now I know that this does not look like the best of cards, the Nine of Swords reversed in the most severe part of the reading, but it does tell me it's kind of got this feeling of you're putting some stuff behind you. And I think that you're trying to very hard to let go of the past and let go of the attitudes that you picked up in the past, and maybe work a little bit more on trust issues. So that feels like what you're doing right now, but it's that's your struggle, that's your challenge right now. Yes. Okay, love, even though it might be a little stalled, the guy that's around you, love-wise, because this is somebody who's already around you. Even though he's going through kind of a down period where he's uncertain, so that uncertainty spills over into the relationship, of course. But when I look at what's positive, you've got the Two of Pentacles, which means that you've got some pretty good financial. You've got a balance of two opportunities. You're coming to a crossroads, whether you want to take a left turn or a right turn. It's up to you. Choose what feels fun. It's like this lady right here looking in the mirror saying, I know who I am and I know what I want. And even though I think that the guy around you right now, whatever's happening around him, it's making you doubt him a little bit. And yet, if you were, he's who you want. And the fact that I feel like he's going to come over beyond this, he's not by personality. He's not necessarily somebody who would take advantage. And any way he's being helped right now, he will make sure that he returns the favor. I've got nothing wrong with this guy. So you've got some decisions coming up about, this is about future stability. But I know the question was about love, and he shows up dead center. So you might be making decisions about, living arrangements and stuff like that. Where we're going to live, where we're going to work, what we're going to do. But overall, it's heading in the right direction.
Woohoo! Anyhow, who's next here? Haunting Live wants to know about their getaway this late summer. How's that going to go? They're planning on going to Northern Ontario.
Oh.
Go play with the bears.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the lovely kyanite pendant. And anybody who would want one of those should go to the Haunting Live podcast webpage and check out their merchandise and see that and all the other good, nice jewelry that they make there. All right, so.
How's the trip?
How's the trip? up north.
It's cold.
It's going to be a good trip. It's there's, that trip, maybe there's a lot of good memories there because it seems to stir up romantic feelings. I like to see that. You have the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and they're sort of positioned funny, and I see that as you and Trevor. And the advice that the cards are giving here is listen very carefully to each other, because I actually see you know, sometimes when things are emotional and you're hurried and everything else, you two could be saying the same thing in two different ways, and each thinks the other is saying something opposite. So it says that you guys are both on the same page, and if it feels like you're not on the same page, then you're not listening to each other. But overall, what you get for that trip, the main thing is an Ace of Wands. An Ace of Wands in a good position like this is A-OK. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be an energetic trip, and it's going to be a romantic one.
Is that the stick of wood?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, don't you call that card something else sometimes?
No. Yes, I do, but not on this channel. I don't. Yes, I have a nickname for that card, and any of my students right now are laughing because they know what the nickname is. But you'll just have to take my tarot course to find out what I call it.
Perfect. Lisa Love would like a general reading for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, Lisa Love. And before we get to Lisa Love, speaking of classes, I am going to be offering a couple classes. The first one's going to be shortly after lockdown is lifted, about 2 weeks after lockdown is lifted. The second Saturday in May 12th, and that is going to be on the Palms. It's going to go from 9 to 5. It includes your lunch. I'm also going to be there an hour early with some coffee and some snackies for anybody that wants to come and visit early. And we will be looking at the different aspects of a hand in the morning, and then after lunch we're going to sit down and do practice readings, and I'm going to teach you the lines, the shapes, and so forth of the hands in the morning, and in the afternoon I'm going to teach you how to put that information together into reading. It's a lot of fun. Everybody loves getting their palms read, and so learn how to read the palms for your friends and your family. Anybody that's interested, that's $85. It does include your lunch. Just send an email to thequeenofoogaboga@gmail.com, and a little later on in the show, I'll tell you about my runes class coming up in June. Now, this is for Lisa Lovelace, who... Oh, I can't believe
not Lisa Lovelace, just Lisa Love.
Just Lisa Love. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It just
no skills were applied.
Let's see how the next 2 weeks are going for her. Okay, next 2 weeks for Lisa Love. So if I was going to look at sort of an overriding theme of the next 2 weeks, it's basically taking stock of what you have. So the next 2 weeks are going to be focused in more on gratitude. And when you look at this, because the card's upside down, so if it was right side up, the Five of Cups, it's about having a partial loss but focusing in on the loss. When it's reversed, then you're turning around and you're focusing in on what you have left and realizing that you have everything you need left. So you're coming into this period feeling like there's something lost, but over these next 2 weeks you're going to learn how to be productive and happy with what you have left. Negatively aspected, sometimes we can be impatient when we want life to be just so, and you want the dream life, you want the dream house, and it's kind of like not having the house you want, whether you're not getting the the curtains, the furniture, even the house. It just feels like you have this picture in your mind, and it's not coming through over the next 2 weeks, and it feels like it's a little frustrating. The fact that this card is here at all, because the Ten of Cups is a really positive card around hearth and home, but it's turned upside down. It's put in the area of severity, so it's saying, yeah, you'll get what you want, but you might have to wait a while for it, more than 2 weeks. And what's positive? You. This tells me that when you get your, what my mom used to say, get your Irish up, right? Which means we'll only take so much crap, and then we start calling people on their crap, and we start standing up for ourselves. And over the next 2 weeks, something put some steel in your spine, because you are very much standing up for yourself. Okay, so that's the next 2 weeks for you. Good on you. I wish I was a fly on the wall.
All righty then. That was for Lisa Love. Thanks for being here, Lisa. Haley Dixon wants to know whether Cole is thinking about her.
Of course he is. I'll look, Haley, but of course he is. Why wouldn't he? You do know that you might be just a shade out of his league, and you're putting him on a bit of a pedestal. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, he's thinking about you. I don't think he understands what you see in him. Yeah, he's thinking about you. He is. He's also thinking about a few other things. He feels a little like he's at a crossroady place in life, so he's kind of, dreaming about the next thing. So he's in a time of completions and new beginnings. He's probably going to have an ace here somewhere.
What card is that?
Oh, it is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands, he's a student, he's a young man, he's somebody who's looking forward. He's got that sense of anticipation and a certain amount of naivety. So Cole's, he's really thinking like a young man, so I'm assuming he's a very young man. The negative spot. Okay, now Cole he needs to move out of his current situation, and he's kind of dragging his feet there, and I think that might be a resource thing or something. But when you look here, it's like what's negatively aspected. I almost see the prodigal son in this card. Like the prodigal son taking off, saying bye to mom and dad and the little baby sister. So it feels like he's still kind of leaving his old life behind. And what's ahead of him? Oh yeah, he's thinking of you. Trust me, he's thinking of you.
Don't show me.
You have the Ace of Wands here.
Oh, wood.
Yes.
She's got wood.
Yes, he is thinking about you, and it makes me wonder if you guys may have had a conversation about marriage and kids and that, because one of the things he's thinking about you around that is something that you guys had talked about around kids. And I don't know whether that's good or bad, and neither does he. He's kind of up in the air about that. He might not have been ready to think about it. Anyhow, yes, darling, he's thinking about you.
Hi, Amanda. Amanda would like a general reading.
Amanda.
Before we get to that, Christina, you've only been a week since you've asked the last time about when you're going to be pregnant. Give it a little time. If you're that much of a hurry, tie him down.
Don't take his advice. On the face of it sounds good, but that could get you a restraining order in the future.
Or a really big engagement ring.
That's true. It worked for Desiree.
Sorry, for whom?
Desiree, not no, not that Desiree. I was talking about someone. She used to be with think it was John Allen. She's one of the psychics. She used to do the aura photography.
Anyhow, back to Haley. No,
Haley.
No,
Yes.
back to Amanda. General reading.
General reading for Amanda. And Amanda, I'm pulling out the Lenormand. The Lenormand, maybe. Okay, so. And you just want a general reading. Okay, Amanda, when I look at your current situation, you might be in a situation where you can't see the forest for the trees. It feels like there's somebody who's being a bit of an obstacle. It feels almost like a boss who understates your ability, you know, somebody, it just feels like somebody's working away at your self-confidence in a bad way. And you might even be being gaslighted a little bit. You know what that means. So I would say that if something sets off your little BS detector, then you need to sit down and just meditate on it a little bit, calmly think about it a little bit in a calm, quiet place, because whatever your instincts are telling you is right. You are in a position to achieve a lot. And I do believe that you're going to find an opportunity coming your way. I see that in the key and the bouquet. And it starts out with the moon. But this is like the underlying current. So you haven't started to see that. What you're seeing right now is a lot of obstacles. And it feels like there's all these hurdles that you have to jump, you know, all these hoops that you have to jump through. And here you've got somebody who's being kind of the ringmaster of that. You know, I wonder if you've got a supervisor that's selling you short while making you do his work, something along those lines. But don't judge yourself by what others say. Look at what you accomplish, and you will realize that you have a lot more skill than you give yourself credit for. You're selling yourself short. And you need to believe in yourself right now. One thing that I'll tell women is that men will regularly post for a job they're only 70% qualified for. And you have to be the same way. So as postings come up, don't wish you could have them. Apply for anything that you are at 70% or better qualified for. The little details you can learn as you go along. But it does feel like, and it feels like a real surprise, because when I look at what you're seeing, it feels like you're getting, wait, your time hasn't come yet. You still need to learn to do this and this and this, and you're really being held up. But when I look at what reality is and what's going to happen as you look up the road, you don't see the changes that are happening around you. There is some unseen, there's some really good opportunities coming your way. I see that in the key, and the moon tells me that it's not something you're seeing right now, but trust in the process. You've got something coming your way, and something big. And don't worry that you might not be qualified for it. You are. And if the opportunity presents itself in front of you, it's your opportunity. Grab it. Grab the opportunities that come your way, and don't wait for permission. That's why I see it in your general reading.
70%, you're being generous.
Yeah, well, most men. There are those guys. Yeah, I know those guys.
My first cooking job, my experience was that I ate everything on the menu.
Okay, so
I'm not sure how many percent that is. Virgo Queen wants to know about her next 3 months with Ivan.
Okay. Oh, Virgo Queen, it's so nice seeing you. We all want to live vicariously through you, you know.
Speak for yourself.
I'm going to stick with the Lenormand, and do another little. All right, so on the top you've got the Queen of Spades and the King of Spades, but they're a matched pair. They even have matching bouquets. So the two of you are on the same page, and that's nice. In the middle you've got the horseman. So there's this idea of being able to show it to the world. Okay, so things look pretty good. You'll get an appropriate amount of PDAs, and the boyfriend girlfriend titles are being bantered around to say it's all very good. And Ivan's got some ideas about getting a house. I know you guys are looking at a house, and you've got that King of Hearts, and it's dead center. So he's got a plan. Even though things move forward very quickly, I'm a little worried. There's a lot of passion here. If you feel jealousy, do not let it show. Do not let him know that you feel jealous about somebody, because I do see you feeling jealous about somebody. Because, Ivan's a good-looking guy, and there is somebody who's kind of, that's why I see in the fox, and she's kind of, she's going to try and charm him away. Not going to happen. Stay confident. Do not let the jealousy show. Okay. And also keep in mind, he is not encouraging this person in any way, shape, or form. The one he's looking at, if you look at the way the kings are looking, he is looking at you. He's looking at you. His life goes forward with you. This is somebody that's just on the perimeter, in the peanut gallery, if you will, and she's just a troublemaker. He's not really flattered by it. He's a bit embarrassed by her. Don't show jealousy.
No. That's terrible. Ava is concerned about Uncle Mike, the fabric shop owner.
Oh, dear. Oh, the fabric shop's still going. That's awesome. Okay, so Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike needs to dust a little bit more, doesn't he? I just say that because when I think about him, I can almost smell the dust. Okay, Uncle Mike. Oh.
This is a reading for Ava.
Yes, this is a reading for Ava. And basically Uncle Mike, but I know the situation in that fabric shop is a whole family thing. Uncle Mike needs some help. I can see that because he's, when he first shows up, it's almost like he's punishing himself. He doesn't have the same charm, the same connection with people that the previous owner did, and so he knows it. He knows that. He's aware of that, and he's kind of punishing himself. Well, why can't I be this person? Why can't? So instead of learning his own way of doing it, he's kind of really being tough on himself, and he doesn't need to be. He just needs to admit that he needs some help. I think there might be some pride issues here, because he's disappointing himself, but he doesn't want to ask for help. And yet the best thing that could possibly happen to him is if somebody comes in and helps him out. This isn't something he can do on his own. He needs a partner. Ava, he needs a partner, and if it's not you, it needs to be somebody else. But there needs to be a second person, because he's just it almost feels like he feels like somebody that's carrying 20 books and trying to see in front of him. It feels like he's carrying a heavy load and dropping as he goes. Okay. But the best thing that could happen for him is a partnership with somebody that he loves, because that leads to happiness. Has he been sick? Has maybe his blood pressure started spiking or something along those lines? Anyhow, I'm just as worried about your Uncle Mike as you are. He needs help. Talk to the family. See if somebody else can be a partner with him in this.
All right, Ava. Next we have Suzanne with 2 S's. How's the month of April going to be for me? And is my friend Dee from work with me, or did I upset the apple cart? Oh, one fell out.
He's with you. He's with you just fine.
All right, so Dee's done good. So, month of April for Suzanne.
Yeah. Dee, we're all human and we all screw up. Okay? And everybody knows it. And so people can be forgiving, and whatever you think you may have done to upset the apple cart has already been forgotten. Forgiven and forgotten. So Suzanne wants to know what?
About the month of April.
Oh, okay. Month of April. Starts out real good. Starts out with April Fool's Day and goes right to Good Friday and Easter. Okay. Month of April. Ooh, look at that. Well, as you can tell, you don't even need to be a psychic to know this. As you come in, you've got this fella who's wearing his heart on his sleeve for you. So you've got romance coming in, and it feels like it's a key month. It's a key month to make some of your dreams come true. So it feels like during April it feels like you almost find a crack in the wall. It shows as a crack in the wall, a crack in something, but it's kind of like there's a way you can work yourself in to where you want to be. And the phraseology I'm not sure of, but it's still the way it's showing me like almost a little crack in the wall where some light starts coming through, where you can just kind of get your way in there. So you are going to find your way into some situation where you really want to be, because this is a key. This is a key. This is a start. This is something that your hopes and dreams have been set on anyway. Love, yeah. This is something different. Someone different. This is someone who's wearing his heart on his sleeve. He's different than you. He has a different background, a different point of view, and yet you find him fascinating. So I like to see that. I like to see that you're both looking toward each other. So your feelings toward him are the same as his feelings towards you. When you get toward the end of April, and this is probably when things start getting really warm, I'm seeing something involving wine here. And wine is in drinking it, not as doing it. I do see that toward the end of April, things are, you're out celebrating, enjoying things a little bit more. So as soon as the lockdown is over, you're out there. You might even be celebrating a little bit before that, but I'm going to say that you're a good girl and you're going to wait until the lockdown's done. And this right here is the moon. And the moon says that I'm not sure that you're really thinking about romance, because dead center you've got like this, find my opportunity, get my way forward, which is there, and it does feel like it's something little that comes up that you know how the salesman, when you open the door a little bit, they put their foot in the door. You need to put your foot in the door with something in April. This is time for you to move forward and don't take wait or no for an answer. But romantically speaking, you've got something coming in, and his heart, he's really enamored with you, and you're infatuated with him. Don't know whether this is going to succeed or not. Doesn't matter. It feels delicious. And I don't see anything dangerous there. So maybe overindulging in wine. But overall, April seems to be a pretty good month for you. Take all challenges head on.
All right, that was for Suzanne. Next we have Grace. Sorry I missed you earlier, Grace. Grace is planning to relocate to another state and would like a reading on that.
Okay. So put Grace in another state.
Runes.
Oh, the runes, yes. Let's do the runes. I was going to go after my Pamela Coleman Smith deck, but I think it's in that puzzle box.
Well, folks, while Sally is shuffling those runes, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share, tell your friends all about us. The more we can grow the channel, the better it is for everybody.
Okay, so what was question?
Grace is planning to relocate to another state.
Okay, so the start here is Thorn, and Thor's as it talks about energies just being chaotic and things being a little out of control. Maybe it's just that I think that a move is good for you, because what Thor's as is telling me right off the hop is that things have just gotten untenable where you're at. Whatever it is, it's gotten too heavy or too chaotic. It's there, and it's I think it's a good time for you to move, because the next thing you get is Othilla, which is homeland, and Thagaz, which is change. So a change around the homeland, especially as you're coming into the warm weather, is well aspected, and when I put my hands on it, it has a real lighthearted feel to it. So I think you're going to be happier there. Which is funny. My mom used to tell a story about somebody coming into town and asking a fellow at the edge of town, well, what are the people like there? And the guy says, well, what are the people like where you come from? And the first one said, well, they're awful, they're gossipy and everything. And he said, well, they're the same way here. But then the second guy that came into town said, oh, the people from where I come from are great. They're friendly, they're helpful, and I'll miss all of them. And he goes, well, and the guy at the edge of town says, well, welcome into town. They're all like that here too. And so that says that usually 9 times out of 10, you get what you give. And so you know, a lot of times people keep running into the same situation. This is not the case here. This is definitely not the case. Going to another state, you find yourself more well-grounded. You'll agree with it, with just it says you'll like the land, you'll like the houses, you'll like what's there. So yeah, I would say definitely go. And when we pick up our head and we look at where you're at a year from now, it looks like you will reap what you will achieve what you are going for. Whenever we go someplace, there's a goal. Your goal is achieved, because when I look up the year up the road, you get harvest. So everything that you are moving for, you will receive. Issa over here talks about the now, and what it feels like is there's this piece of advice of living in the now. In other words, don't carry your baggage along with you, and don't worry too much about what's going to happen next. Don't worry so much about what's going to happen next year that you can't focus in on who and what and the challenges that are right in front of you right now. I want to look at some of the influences. First, the influence about changes around the home. I'm wondering if you're moving to for a relationship, because you've got the Mana's room here. It's sometimes called the hug room, but it talks about, it says, you know, that you put down roots, but you also have this relationship that's two-way successful, and you also have blessings coming down on you. Yeah, love. If you're not moving to love, you're going to move someplace and find love right away. And even the home seems like it's already there, already good. So it's not going to be, if you don't have a home already, it's not going to be too hard for you to find a place to live that suits you just fine. Yeah, you are going to be so glad you moved. This is a path that has success on it. This is kind of a random thing, but it's stuck in the middle of the year. It feels like once you get into, say, maybe high winter, you're going to be looking at getting another vehicle. Maybe getting yourself a truck or something. And I'm wondering if it may be a company vehicle, because there's this idea. It feels almost like it's a gift, but it's something that helps you to succeed. Ooh. Oh, really? Okay, so when I look at a year ahead, a lot of times, sometimes when you get Jera, it talks about conception and birth, because that's a part of harvest too. And the reason I kind of raise my eyebrows is because right next to it is family. So you're either going to bring in a new family member, or you're going to make a connection with a new family member. But this time next year, there's something about a new family member there. Okay, so that is your year ahead. Good luck with you. Good luck for you. To you. It looks like you're headed in the right direction.
I'm sure a state moving to a different state has got to be quite scary. You know.
Well, she's really moving to something nice, though.
Oh, perfect. Next, we have Tshell, who is a new one here. Happy Tshell. Happy Easter, Tshell. Welcome to the channel. She would like a general reading.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my old friends here. Just a Scapini deck. And you just want a general reading?
Yes, she would just like a general reading.
Okay.
Sorry, folks, allergy hits today, so I'm a little sniffly.
So we'll just put 3 cards.
This is a reading for Tshell.
Okay, Tshell. The first card that you get is the 9 of Coins. So this talks about the path that you're on, and even though you may not have had as much success as you would like in the past, and that I can see that there, you know, as you're right here, and it looks like where you've gone, you know, what you've put behind you, you've actually put a whole lot of BS behind you. As I run my finger along that path, it feels like you've spent the last year kind of cleaning the shells out of the negative people and the players and the users. And so right now you're feeling like you have a good support group around you. And I would tend to believe that. And when I look at the path ahead, you are on a path that leads to achievement. There's a ring at the end of this path. The Ace of Swords. And it's reversed, and it feels a little bit like a warning. You've already put the bad stuff behind you. You've already put people's negativity behind you. You've already taken the people who will take advantage of you and lie to you and cheat you and stuff like that. Don't let that back in. Not even a little bit. You know, because you've got some people back here, they're looking to get back in and do the same thing over and over again, because people really don't want to change their bad habits, especially when they get a reward for it. Okay, and, you know, I said that you've got, like, some new, you've got a good support group around you. When I talk about you clearing out the negativity, I do see somebody in front of you. I get a feeling this is somebody who's already well rooted in your life. And this person may have a little bit to do with the I'm not going to put up with any of this anymore. And I have a feeling that he's solid. The problem with him is he's a guy. And he doesn't want to do better. So he's going to test his limits. Don't put up with any crap. You're on a good path. Hold your head up high and keep going forward. And know that right around the corner you've got some, that you don't see how good the summer's going to be. But you're going to have a very good summer. So enjoy. And you have a body. If you can get a bikini in it, you got a bikini body.
Alrighty then. That was a reading for Tshell. We have time for 2 more. Julia is next, and then we have Iceman. For anybody underneath that, I'm sorry, we're not going to have time to get to you today. Come back next week and come back early. You get that question in early, we're definitely going to get to you. You got to beat those regulars.
Yes, and also, and anybody who would want to ask their question in advance, send us an email to thequeenofoogaboga@gmail.com. If you guys sent me an email, I'd read you first. But I don't get emails from you guys.
Well, that's going to change.
I hope so.
So, anyhow, Julia would like to know.
Yes, Julia.
I'm not doing very well at the moment and am on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I'm wondering what is going on with me and if there will be a light or dark coming my way.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, the card that fell out was Queen of Wands. And that's you. I know that you might be depressed now, but the cards are kind of saying, don't forget who you are. You have a lot of good skills. You're a smart person. You're motivated. It feels like, when the first thing the cards say is be the Queen of Wands. Grab life by the short and curly. I know that that's hard to do when you're feeling depressed. Yeah, there's a term that says fake it until you make it. So if you're depressed, don't let it show. Just keep going forward and move your way through it. And I know that's a hard thing to do because it's like fighting your way out of a quagmire. We're going to take a look at some of the cards. So I think, the first card that comes up is the Four of Cups, but it's the Four of Cups reversed. And that tells me that you're not seeing the good in yourself, and there's a lot of good to be seen. Whoever's making you feel like you are less than, you need to get that person out of your life, because somebody is working at getting your at pulling your self-confidence down. Because what you're feeling and who you are don't match right now. Okay. Basically, what the cards are saying is that you have the ways, you have the Ten of Cups here, and even though it's in the point of severity and it's turned upside down, it still tells me that you have the potential on the horizon of getting over this and getting beyond it. It's giving me a timeline here. You remember what I said about fake it till you make it, put your head up and pretend like you're not depressed, and definitely don't listen to anybody that gives you like the backhanded compliments that, like somebody will say, oh, that dress looks nice on you. It really makes your hips look thin, which is a backhanded way of saying you're fat, right? don't listen to people like that. Don't listen to people that candy coat negativity and try and spoon feed it to you. You need to stand up to those people. It's giving me a timeline. It says if you can make it through the next 3 weeks, you're golden. So I think that the lockdown might have a lot to do with this. But don't believe what others tell you. If it's negative, don't believe it, because somebody is really messing with your head here. Keep in mind what I'm telling you is just what I pick up with through the cards and what I feel as a human being, and it is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer.
That was a reading for Julia. Julia, please keep the number for the crisis hotline handy for wherever you live.
Yes, please.
I have dealt with depression in my life, and it's always handy to have somebody to talk to, no matter what time of day it is.
Yes, yes.
Anyhow, next, Iceman would like to know if there's new money or job coming. He's working on a musical project, and he needs coins to finish it.
Well, the first card you got is the Fool. And that is such a good card. I've got a quarter sleeve tattoo. That big of a tattoo based on the Fool card. It's a good card. It says that you know, it's a card of being an eternal optimist. And it's a reminder that the hardships in life are a way of pushing us forward. And so whatever's going sideways in your life right now, it's the universe pushing you forward. So whatever wants to go out of your life, don't fight too hard to hang on to stuff, is what I'm saying, because I think you might be being guided by the universe. Yeah, because you've got the Ace of Cups here, but I'm not sure about where it's located, because it's telling me that there's a new beginning here, you know, something really nice and you know, something that feeds the heart and the soul, but it's obstructed, and you're not really seeing the opportunities that are around you. You might be focusing a little bit too much on the hardships and things that are pushing you along. Definitely. And the one thing that both these cards have in common is the idea of my cup floweth over. So this is saying definitely have faith. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, because there actually is an opportunity coming right around the corner, because the potential of my cup runneth over. And it's also being, I'm also kind of getting pointed at the number here, number of 3, which is the number of karma. And so you've built up some pretty good karma in your life. So I feel pretty good about that, Iceman.
Okay, well, it's just a little bit after 10. Oh, let me get closer to the microphone so people can hear me. We do have some more questions if you'd like to keep going. The dog is of a different opinion, though.
Yes, yes. So anybody out there that has a dog knows that they can be very insistent. But I do want to make a couple announcements. I want to remind everybody about the Ghost of the Queens event coming up on Halloween weekend, the October 29th. And the 30th, yes. And this is an $140 event. It's a 2-day event. It includes 2 continental breakfasts. It includes your dinner on Friday night. Friday night we'll have a nice dinner followed by speeches. I'll be giving a speech about the Ghosts of the Queens. The Haunting Live podcast guys will be talking about their adventures as paranormal investigators and some of the tools they use. And then we have a very special speaker, Mary Ann Kennedy, who is the host of The Ghosts of Dufferin County and Beyond on Rogers Cable. And I'm really looking forward to what she has to say. On Friday night, after the speeches, we're going to go upstairs, and those that are staying at the Queen's Inn with us will be getting readings. We'll have a pajama party, so we'll get on extra fancy pajamas and do readings for you. which was really fun last year, and we're looking forward to another pajama party this year. On Saturday we have 3 workshops. I will be teaching a workshop on reading the playing cards. Haunting Live will be teaching a workshop on getting to know your angels, and Marion Kennedy will be teaching a workshop on mediumship. For dinner on Saturday, you can explore any of the many restaurants there are in Stratford. It's a wonderful city. And then in the evening, we're going to have a walkthrough and an exploration of the hotel and the ghosts. And then we're going to wind it up with a seance chaired by yours truly and monitored by my producer. And what could be better than a seance on the eve of Halloween in the Queen's Inn, which is a haunted hotel. And so I hope a lot of you will take advantage of that. Like I said, it's $140 for the package. That does not include your accommodations, but the Queen's Inn has put aside a nice block of rooms, and some of them will sleep 3 or 4 people. So you can make your reservations, which are a very special price for our group, and you can share your rooms to share the costs. So you can keep the cost of that down to a minimum. I look forward to seeing everybody there. And another event that's coming up a little bit sooner is a runes class, and that will be on June 15th. And the class includes a set of runes and a booklet, which I'm finishing up right now. It'll be a 16-page guide booklet with a cheat sheet and definition of all the runes. This class is an all-day class, starts at 9 o'clock, goes to 5 o'clock, includes your lunch, and it is $145. And as I said before, it does include a set of runes made out of a very special clay impregnated with kyanite, so it's always cleansing and anti-negativity. And I have one more event. I'm really excited about this. I will be doing a collaboration with Tarot by Lavina, and that is with Carrie Ann McDonald. I hope I said her name right. Anyhow, she is out of Massachusetts, so I'm really looking forward to this international collaboration. And we will be filming that on April 15th of this month, and so we will be uploading it on either April 17th or April 18th. And I hope that you will all keep your eye out for that, because that should be a lot of fun. We've talked to Carrie briefly, and it seems like a lot of chemistry. And we were talking, and then we decided, no, we got to save this for the collaboration. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to talking to her, because there's so many things I want to ask her.
Oh, yeah, it was getting difficult to keep you to stop talking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting there as the producer listening on, Stop asking each other questions. Stop telling each other stories. You need this for the camera.
Yes, so you'll hear all our questions and all our stories. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to share with everybody. Let's get our subscriber numbers up. Everybody have a great week, and tune in again next week for Psychic Sundays Live with Sally, Diane, and my producer.
You have been watching Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Hooga Booga, Psychic Sally Diane. Have a good week, everybody. Happy Easter, and we'll see you next Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern. Bye-bye.